All right, everyone, how's it going? Welcome to my first YouTube video. My plan is to do one of these every day for at least 30 days. And the idea is that I want to develop some skills. So one of those skills would be camera presence. I want to learn how to be more confident talking to the camera, talking to this virtual audience. I think I have some things to talk about that might interest you, some stories to tell. I feel like I've had a pretty interesting, unique life. 30 years old now, so I've had some things happen, been through some things, overcome some things. I've failed at some things, have some things that I probably would have done differently. I still have things I'd like to change about my life, hence doing this. Yeah, so I figure if I just do this every day, I'll slowly get a little bit better at it. I want to get more familiar with editing software. I have experience with audio editing and engineering. I've messed around on some digital audio workspaces, just like making some beats and stuff. Sorry, my dogs are just gonna be running with me whenever I do this. Yeah, but now I've got DaVinci Resolve, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, so just develop skills, get a little more comfortable talking, and I'm just gonna kind of treat this like a video journal at first. So this would be day one. And the good thing is that I have this nice woods with big old trails through it right behind my house. So I get to just take a walk back here, spend some time alone just talking. I do have a wife and 2 small children, so the house is pretty noisy, so filming anywhere around there is not really an option unless I want to have them be in the video also. That's kind of part of it too. I have some future projects in mind that we want to work on as a family. I have some raw land, 15 acres of just woods. That's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It has no utilities. So we're thinking about starting a YouTube channel where we would be sort of doing some bushcraft. My kids are really into being outside. My son's a huge fan of Luke from the Outdoor Boys and Tom and them. And Axle trucks and or adventure agents, whatever you want to call them. Some pretty cool kids content on YouTube that's all good stuff about being outside and doing things. So there's some raw woods over there that I think we could make some pretty cool content with, building primitive structures, using tools with the kids, doing things like that, kind of just camping, but it'd be a little more to it because we wouldn't just be staying in tents necessarily, like we would be trying to build some sort of structures to stay in, and eventually we'd like to move to that land, is kind of what we're thinking. We do rent the house that we're in right now, and it's nice because I'm real close to my work. It's only just down the road, so I essentially have no commute. And the other land is close by too, but it would just be really cool to have the experience, especially as a family, just slowly shaping and crafting that land, building primitive structures and developing those skills and getting a little bit better at it over time. So if I want to do that, then I need to be comfortable in front of the camera and I need to have editing skills. So my logic is that if I just do this every day, I'll get a lot more comfortable and I'll get basic editing skills. Because I will admit, I'm pretty uncomfortable talking to the camera right now and pretty nervous just talking to you as we speak, even though it's just me here in the middle of the woods. I'm not super used to talking or expressing myself, and that's another reason I'm doing this, is because I really just want to like be able to think out loud, and then the process of like going back over the footage and sort of observing myself, I think could be really useful to just slowly dig deeper into myself over time, learn more about my personality, trying to get a better idea of who I really am. Like I said, I am 30. I turned 30 in March, and I really feel like I felt like this in my early 20s, but now I feel like it again in my 30s, where it's like I kind of feel like I'm just discovering life for the first time and rediscovering myself as an adult. Especially having 2 young kids, it forces you to sort of take a hard look at yourself and your life, and trying to figure out who you are, what you're doing, what you're here for. I know it is getting kind of dark here. I have no idea what the lighting is going to be like. Let me see. Oh, this looks like it's not too bad. Also, I have no idea if I'm holding this thing too close to my face, so this could be kind of weird. But yeah, I just feel like I've had the same job for 7 or 8 years. I work on a small farm. It's a long story how I got into that. I'll probably save that for another video. But I basically spent my whole 20s doing that. Did some traveling in my very early 20s, but by the time I was about 23 or 24, I sort of settled into this small farming career path. And I've been doing that ever since, and I'm a full-time manager on a small farm, do vegetable flowers and pigs mostly. But I'm definitely feeling the pull to start doing something else in addition to what I already do. Like, I know I can't just especially just having kids and a family, I can't just like quit my job and start something else. I don't have enough financial security to do that. Don't make that much money in farming, although the lifestyle has its benefits, that's for sure. Really, the reason I got into it was I thought it was a good way to have a family. So I actually met my wife on a farm I was managing, and she was into the small farming, and so we decided to get married and start a family. But now, as time has gone on, I'm feeling the call to learn new skills, challenge myself in new ways, and sort of just expand my horizons. I feel like I've spent a lot of my 20s just sort of doing what I thought I was supposed to do, or living in like direct rebellion to my parents, which in a lot of ways is you're still allowing other people's expectations to control you. You're just doing the opposite instead of what they're expecting of you. So I'm kind of tired of living from that external space where you're just doing what's expected of you from the people around you. I feel like I had to go through that, especially in my 20s, and just becoming an adult. I really didn't know what to do with myself when I was 21. I was pretty lost, honestly, and so I just thought, hey, if I can get myself into a position where there's an older guy who I work for who can guide me and tell me what to do, that'd be a good use of my energy. And I definitely feel like that was the case in my early 20s. I had a lot of energy, my body was good, and I didn't really have any great ideas or skills. Like, the way I was raised, I wasn't really taught how to do much, and I really wanted to work with my hands, so that's what led me down that path. But now that I'm 30, I'm still kind of left wondering, like, who am I really? I don't have a lot of friends. I don't keep in contact with pretty much anybody from high school or anything like that. I moved states. I was originally raised in Maryland, and now I'm in Middle Tennessee, south of Nashville. So I'm not very well connected, and I was raised in a more urban environment. Now I live very rurally, and it's not easy to find people who think like you do. I have a few close friends that I cherish very dearly, but I just found that I don't really know how to find friends, make friends, and I feel like a lot of people struggle with this today because the way society is. Let me check this real quick. It's pretty dark, huh? You can still see a little bit. Let's see which way. Maybe I'll start heading back. The way society is set up really atomizes everyone, keeps everyone separate. But I do think it's possible to find some sort of community on the online space. So my theory is if I just keep authentically putting myself out here, keep talking into the void, eventually I'll find an audience of like-minded people. There's several YouTubers out there that inspire me, and I spend a decent amount of time, honestly, just listening to other people talk on YouTube, because I'm able to find people that think similarly to me and I resonate with, and so I like hearing what they have to say and kind of how they are interpreting life and their perspective, so that I'm hoping I can achieve the same thing by making these videos, putting them online, and reaching some sort of audience. Honestly, I have really low expectations for finding any viewers or getting any views on these videos. I know it's not easy, and a lot of the advice I see for people talking about starting a YouTube channel, it seems like the number one advice is to just make a lot of videos, get your repetitions in. And it seems like that's just good advice in life in general, because there's so much emphasis on quality, but it seems like the world we live in today, authenticity is more valued really than quality. And in order to be able to express your most authentic self, you need to get your reps in. It's actually not easy, and it doesn't really come naturally to us because of our societal conditioning. So if you just make 100 videos, inevitably over time you'll get more comfortable with yourself, be able to express yourself more easily. You'll be able to iron the kinks out in your creation process over time and pick up the skills that you need over time. You don't have to learn everything before you start. It's better to just start and then pick up what you need along the way. So here I am making my first video. Also another thing that comes to mind is how they say that the life that you dream of is on the other side of being cringe. I think about that a lot. Because I feel like I spent a lot of my 20s just sort of quietly living in fear of embarrassment. I don't know if it has to do with things that happened in my childhood or whatever, but the thought of being seen by other people and being seen as cringe and being laughed at, if I'm being totally honest, scared the shit out of me. And I'm pretty fucking sick of feeling like that. So I think the only way to get over that is to just start doing stuff, start putting yourself out there, make yourself seen, and just don't really worry about how people take it. I feel like everybody's not for everyone, so inevitably there's going to be some people out there who think that I'm stupid or foolish, or they just don't like the things I have to say or how I say it. And I'm totally okay with that now. And I just have faith that the people who do resonate and do find value in the things that I say will make their way to my stuff and just partake in it and enjoy it. Because that's basically, how I am. So why would I expect anyone else to be different? I don't really waste time watching content that I don't like, for the most part. Why would I waste my time and energy on that? You know, I just kind of hang out in the areas of the internet that I kind of vibe with. Well, okay, so I managed to talk for about 15 minutes. I got out here a lot later than I was hoping, and I don't even know if there's enough light to see me now. The sun is setting. I got out here a lot later than I was hoping. I got home from work later than I was hoping, and then I had, of course, camera troubles. I am still not really that used to using this GoPro, and I embarrassingly thought there was something wrong, but the battery was just dead. And then on top of that, I couldn't figure that out, and I bought some other batteries, and so I tried them, and it turns out they were the wrong batteries. So I thought there was something seriously wrong, but it was just that my main battery was dead, and the other batteries were just simply the wrong batteries and do not go to this model of GoPro. So that made me feel like a fucking dumbass. And yeah, I got out here way later, and now it's pretty much almost dark. Let's see if we can go over here and see something. Let's see. Also, I am in the woods for the most part, so it is darker. Let's see. There's a little bit of light here. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up this video here. If you do happen to somehow magically see this, just know I love and appreciate you. Leave a comment, like, subscribe if you want to hear more of my ramblings. Hopefully I'll get a little more refined with it over time. Let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about, any of my stories you want me to tell, any opinions of mine you're curious about. Yeah. Anyway, on that note, have a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow.